This video is going to teach you pretty much everything you need to know about investing. It's divided into 4 parts: stocks, actively managed mutual funds, index funds, and the stock market. Part 1. Stocks. A share of stock is a tiny piece of a company, meaning if you own 1 share of Apple stock, you literally own a small piece of Apple. And because you're a partial owner of Apple, you will receive a portion of their profits. So if Apple sells lots of iPhones and makes lots of money, you'll get some of that money. We call this payout a dividend. Part 2. Actively managed mutual funds. For a long time, we hired very smart people to pick stocks out for us. These people went to Ivy League schools and used super fancy computers. They wouldn't just pick one stock, they'd pick lots of different stocks for us, so our stocks were diversified. They'd go out, buy lots of stocks and lots of different companies and put them in a basket. This basket was called an actively managed mutual fund. We called it actively managed because these people worked very hard all the time to constantly tweak the types of stocks in the basket. These people really did their homework. For all their hard work, they charged us around 1% per year to manage the fund. Now 1% sounds very small, but it actually adds up. If we gave them $100,000 to invest, they'd take $1,000 a year. If we gave them $1 million to invest, they'd take $10,000 a year. Part 3. Index funds. One day in the 1970s, an actively managed mutual fund guy named John Bogle did something weird. He chose not to do any research and not use his fancy computer. Instead, he bought a little bit of stock in every single company in America. No matter how big, small, boring, or sexy a company was, he would buy some of their stock. He put all these stocks in a basket and called it a passively managed index fund, which was really just a classy way of saying, I'm lazy, did not do my homework, and just bought a bit of everything. Lo and behold, this lazy fund did better than all the actively managed mutual funds, picked out by the super smart people with the fancy computers. Fast forward 50 years, and these boring index funds continue to outperform actively managed mutual funds. But it gets even better. Remember that the actively managed funds charge around 1%? Well, index funds charge way less than that. Because index fund people don't have to work all day picking out stocks, they charge us a very small fee, which saves us tons of money every year. Once index funds took off, every company offered one. Index funds are the only stock that Warren Buffett recommends, index funds are the only stock decades of research recommend, and index funds are the only stock that I recommend. Part 4. The stock market. I'm going to start using the terms index fund and the stock market interchangeably, because an index fund represents the stock market. Remember that an index fund is just a big basket of every single stock in the stock market. So when the stock market goes up or down, an index fund will just mirror what the stock market does. I want you to think of the stock market as your childhood best friend who happens to be crazy. He's really good at making us money in the long run, but he's constantly freaking out and losing us money along the way. Over the past 100 years, on average, the US stock market has made 9.8% per year. Some years he makes 0%, some years he makes 20%, and some years he loses money. It is against the law for me to tell you that you will make 9.8% in the stock market. All I can say is, on average, over the past 100 years, the stock market has made 9.8% per year. So, my best guess is that that is what the stock market will continue to do in the future. Every single time the stock market has crashed, he's gone on to recover. The hardest part of investing is not doing anything. If you want to become rich, you need to hand your money over to this lunatic and let it ride. There may be times when you're tempted to sell your index funds because the stock market is such a mess. Do not do it. Let's rewind to the 2008 recession. If you were invested in the stock market at this time, you would have lost half of all your money in a matter of weeks. It was terrifying. Making it worse, every news headline was basically saying, "Zombie apocalypse is here, the stock market may go to zero." It's at that point that Warren Buffett got on the microphone and said, "Listen, I need everyone to chill. I know the stock market really well. We've been friends since childhood. I know he can be a total asshole, but I promise you that he'll make your money back." Everyone who was able to listen made their money back within a few years. All my clients have watched this video, and they all assure me that they'd never make this mistake. Yet lo and behold, when the stock market had an episode during COVID, my email inbox was flooded with emails from clients asking me if they should sell their stocks, to which I replied, "No, I need you to just chill." Sure enough, the stock market recovered and everyone made their money back. My clients accused me of being a visionary investor and wanted to know how I predicted that the stock market would recover. Because over the past 100 years, the stock market has always recovered. Let's review everything we've just learned. Investing is painfully boring and simple. Save what you can, use that money to buy index funds. Once you've bought the index funds, just chill. If you can follow these instructions, you should be just fine in retirement.